Welcome everyone back to the channel. I am Nuclear Deathray, aka Nuclrar. In this video, I'm going to be analyzing a game I played against Aliengineer. But before we get into that, I want to talk about a couple exciting channel updates. So, number one, happy holidays. Over the Christmas break, I got a new microphone, so hopefully you can hear the difference in quality there. But number two, going forward, I'm planning on bringing in another experienced, very good Phoebes player going by the name of Wozard. So that means we'll be having lots of new content in the coming weeks, months, and hopefully longer. So some of that may look like game analyses like this. Some of them longer, some of them shorter. Some of that may look like an alternate account where we're playing with all level 1 Phoebes through Arena. Right now we're in Doomsday, but we're hopefully trying to hit some of all fears. So we'll be showing off some of that gameplay. And then also, some of you in the Discord may be aware that it's possible to ask a mentor, a Phoebes mentor, to review a game that you lost to learn from. And both Wozard and I are mentors in the Discord. So we're thinking about doing some of those together in video format. If you're interested in any of that, or you have any other ideas, please drop a comment underneath this video or find us in the Discord. We're happy to discuss. And all of this is a work in progress, but we're excited to keep working on the channel. So with all of that out of the way, this is an arena game I played against Aliengineer on Christmas, actually. Aliengineer is historically one of the best Phoebes players ever. Plays a lot of arena, plays very aggressively, and really pushes the limits on how you can even play in this game. I have never played him before this game. So I was really excited when I queued into this. This was an arena game. I tend to be an async player, so I came in knowing he's going to be super aggressive. And I want to review this because Aliengineer plays Brony, and I think it'll be useful to showcase how to handle Brony. And Aliengineer heart rushes me really, really aggressively. He also has a somewhat sizable level advantage on me, so I want to showcase ways that you can defend against a heart rush against a very good player, and some of those techniques. I'm not going to be going as in depth with some of this analysis as I did in the tournament, especially because it's arena, and it's the tournament was async and there was a lot more thought going into every turn. But I'll provide a little commentary here and there before we really get into the meat of the Brony gameplay later. So just a little bit here. Aliengineer starts with Snowball on this map. There's lots of panic points. I normally recommend against Snowball openings, but Snowball is really good for collecting panic points quickly, which is how he plays, and it makes a lot of sense. I start with Cassowary, Batula, and Unicorn. One thing I want to note here, note how the Batula could get hit by the Snowball, but I don't really care about that. Batula, especially because it's dimensional, is fine if it's low HP. Like, that's kind of its point, is that it's a 1 key and it can die. The Cassowary here is just to control some of these points, and then the Unicorn, the Unicorn is there just to provide some power once it gets onto the board. All this is fairly standard openings for the Burning Rings, this map here. Already we can see Aliengineer trying to pile up some panic point pressure. So it's very important that I respond similarly quickly. One thing I like to do, I like to never have more than 1 panic point of a disadvantage. I bring Puff here. I think Puff is great on this map. So Puff is a lot of fun because, here, let's pause it. With a lot of action in the middle panic point, Puff can shoot through these lines that provide, here, let's draw that a little better, that provide like some of these angles to be like a little bit extra chip damage, or just make it a little bit harder for your opponent to position. Plus he's Puff is a flying phobie, which means you can position it in some of these spots, or even over the obstacle. It's not afraid of falling into the abyss, like some ground phobies are. So I do like to run Puff pretty early on a lot of these maps. I like to pair it with buffers too. Again, note the way that Aliengineer is capturing a lot of panic points, providing a what is that, a 4 panic point advantage, right? A 3 panic point advantage right now. This move happens to be a blunder. Aliengineer after the game told me he didn't think I had Morty, or he only saw it late. But the idea, note that he's pushing forward with his Ginsting and a Hevo, using a lot of the power together. Because I can only deal with one at a time. So I just want to note one thing up here. Snowball can kill the Bacula, but again, I'm doing the same thing. We have my Bacula and my Cassowary is like almost playing like a 2v1 against the Snowball. The Snowball can't kill the Cassowary. It can kill the Bacula, but if so, it would die itself. So trying to use that that numbers advantage, especially with cheap phobies, is a great way to fight for control and to fight for against aggression. So we'll see here that Ginsting blunder really does help me. It's a Ginsting and a Contortio for a Unicorn, so it's positive 3 keys. I already start up 2 keys. It's very, very important for me to in this game. But you'll see I'm not capturing the middle when I'm only down 1 panic point. It's okay. Like, we can check on my heart right now. My heart's at 6,300. It starts around 9,000. Like, it's getting chipped down, but it's okay for right now. I bring out Prometheus because I like to break out some of these lava, especially this one right here. I find it's a pretty good spot to sit with some phobies. Hevo 2.0, Rambolina, that we'll see later. And then Cupcake comes out. Cupcake is incredible. Really hard to deal with. And we'll see an example in just a sec of what makes it really difficult. So I'm breaking open that block like I'd like to. One thing I want to point out here. So I'm quickly, in this game, I'm quickly calculating, can I put my Rambolina right here? And I would love to, because that would provide more pressure to jump up here and push things off, or to move here and push things off, right? The problem is, if we actually look at how much HP my Rambolina has, we're at about 2850. Let's say he just gets 1 hit with every one of his phobies, which is very possible. That's 600. That's about, a little over 700. So we're at 1300. That's 1800 plus 600 is 2400 plus 300 is 2700. This is like 3200 damage. My Rambolina is not going to survive that. And Cupcake is very helpful in this because he can actually Cupcake his Hevo. One shot here, I can draw it. One shot the Batula, the Hevo gets pulled, and then the Hevo hits. So he's getting a lot of hits. He kills the Rambolina, and I will not really have much of a counter. Cupcake is useful for providing the threat about what to buff. And, you know, I'll run my own Cupcake later too. It's a very versatile, extremely strong Phobie. An Aliengineer here, again, capturing multiple panic points at once, putting him back up 3 panic points, so 6 to 3. And here's the Brony. All right, so here's the dreaded Brony. A couple things I want to point out just right off the bat before we really even get into the Brony. This is why I like running Puff, as I mentioned, on this map, because when I capture the middle and he recaptures, now I have some avenues to hit that Hevo. However, it's easy to see Brony and to see that, okay, maybe the Brony could run here. Where would that hit? That hits like this sort of angle, which is huge, right? And to say, oh, wow, that means I should be putting my phobies like all around to make sure Brony can't hit them. But then you can just keep looking and say, wait a minute, but Brony can also put itself here, which then means, oh, wait a minute, this stuff is everything that gets hit. So I just can't put my phobies anywhere because everything is going to get debuffed. For 2 turns, I'm going to get Heart Rush. He's going to take all the panic points and I'm going to lose. The key point here is to really try not to panic. And there's a few things that you can do against a Brony to mitigate some of the damage there, or mitigate some of the threat. And it all comes down to how can I stall the game as best as possible. And you'll see what I do here. And it's a pretty good showcase of the different techniques you can use against a Brony. So I'm capturing a panic point because I don't want to be down 3 panic points and let that heart chip away. And let's have a look. So, thing number 1, when you want to stall, Rusty right here is great at that. It can lock a root of phobie down for 2 turns. So while the battle is happening, I can just ignore another phobie, which is great for me. That's thing number 1. Thing number 2, I'm already running Rambolina, which has a different type of threat. Remember, that is an AoE push. There's lots of abysses on this map. Rambolina is still a threat despite doing no damage. Similarly, Puff has some fire and Prometheus has some lava. But you'll notice I've put 4 of, or really even 5 of my phobies that are in range of the Brony. I'm only hiding 2 of them away. And both of these, the Morty has a lot of range and the Prometheus is useful to unblock these lava tiles. So, you know, the other thing that is important is that Brony can't hit phobies that you summon from your vault after, which means playing sacrificial phobies like Cupcake and Rusty. Cupcake doesn't even get impacted by Brony at all, and Rusty is also sacrificial, which means I could theoretically sacrifice both of those two, get 2 new slots, maybe even if Cassowary dies, I get 3 new slots that I can use, and all of a sudden, instead of fighting with only 2 phobies that have damage, now I'm fighting with 5 phobies that have damage. So you can see, like, all of that arriving at the same time means that I actually have some counterplay against this. Also, let's just have a check where we at with the heart. About 5,000. Just keep that in mind. So Aliengineer goes in, debuffs several phobies of mine, none of his own. Runs Morty of his own, which is an amazing heart rusher, extremely fast, a great flyer. One of the things I've noticed about the way he plays, he really likes flying phobies because they're versatile. They can get to the heart, they can get to panic points. But here we see the Rambolina is able to get a kill. This is Aliengineer's second blunder of the game. Yeah, but the Rambolina is able to get a kill because it has another way of being powerful. It has another threat that isn't just damage. I'm able to summon 2 phobies. I want to summon as much damage as I can. So Hematic Instinct and AWOL are good choices for that. This is pretty tough for me here. The Cupcake and Hevo combining to kill my Morty, I did not see that. It only works with level advantage, but it was a really nice play by Aliengineer here. And you can see the amount of heart pressure he's piling on now, because Brony comes into the middle. And a Bad Omen comes. So let's just take stock of what's going on here. I've just taken 1645 damage. Let's look at the heart. Just over 3,000. That means if I take that same amount of damage twice more, I lose. I need to recapture panic points. That's priority number 1, but also he's got this threat sort of in around here to get at the heart and deal damage directly. Remember, Morty itself deals 1,100 damage. Ray Chargels can get around the heart. Hevo can get in and lob. It's whatever. The other thing about the Bad Omen that's scary is that it can hamstring my defenses and debuff them again after he's just used the Brony. Especially since I'm going to want to capture points in the middle. I'm going to maybe want to capture points at the top and bottom. So here, priority number 1, get panic points. Priority number 2, kill phobies. Especially phobies that can deal damage to my heart. And priority number 3 is make sure if they do get to my heart, I'll be able to kill them. And we'll see the way we accomplish those. So we'll actually see here, I'm able to collect 3 different panic points. And that's the other thing to remember about Brony. It doesn't kill your phobies. They can still move, they can still collect panic points if you have other things that can fight and get kills. And then I summon my own Bad Omen. Again, the debuff is great for defense if he's just trying to do direct damage. Extend the game, extend the game. And that, what was it, 6 panic point advantage has now become 1. So let's have a look here. What's my heart at? 790. Cutting it really close. But again, get the kill. Make sure he can't. I need to limit as much damage to my heart as possible. That means making sure I have panic points, making sure he can't collect a lot in one go, and getting the important kills. So the Morty here dies. I can debuff the Ray Chargels and the Razormouth, but it doesn't matter because the Razormouth is going to die. I'm able to get this kill on his Bad Omen through my Puff and my Murder Wing. And then this is the key play here. AWOL really needs to stay on this point. You'll see that this point, and this point are all occupied. That tickles. Those are the only 3 points I can actually get to this turn. And that's really important because if we have a look, as I was quickly trying to calculate this in the game, that debuff brings his Ray to 256, so he does just over a 500 damage. If his Brony then comes and collects this panic point, he's gonna have a 1 panic point advantage. So it's about 500 plus 235. I think I survived just by a little bit. But if the Tickles is able to collect another point, then I would lose. So again, that damage limitation, making sure I collect panic points and don't make it easy for them to, or for him to collect them back. You can also see here, if Brony could do damage itself, maybe that'd be a different story. But all it can do is collect a panic point. And then, yeah, so I survived by 40 HP. Really, really tight match. I hope I get more exciting matches with Aliengineer in the future. But yeah, I'm hope you got something out of this. I had a ton of fun playing it. You know, a lot went my way. I think it was the first time Aliengineer played this map. I've played it many times before. So I really just barely escaped in this game. And I'm hoping to get more exciting matches against him. But yeah, drop a comment if you're interested in any other types of content on this channel. And I'm looking forward to bringing Wozard on. Thank you all.